Hello and welcome to Scale to Seven Figures and our $1 Million Fireside Chat. I am Lisa Anderson, Strategic Business Advisor, Virtual CFO with Anavo Transformation Solutions and your $1 Million Mentor. And I am excited you are joining me. Scale to Seven Figures is an interactive group of small business owners in the business to corporate, and business to government markets who are ready to scale their businesses to the next level. Our group is an opportunity to share, learn, and grow together without competition. Each week, I bring tips, tactics, and strategies through our $1 Million Masterclasses and our $1 Million Fireside Chats. If you are not familiar with us, head on over to www.scaletosevenfigures.com and check us out. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy our next powerful conversation. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Scale to Seven Figures and season 2 of our $1 Million Fireside Chat. I am super excited to be here. I missed you guys so much that I didn't completely go away during our brief hiatus. We did not air in the month of September. We actually took a little break so that we could do some reprogramming and do a few things to gear up for this new season. But instead of completely taking a break, I did do a few $1 Million Minutes on Wednesdays. So I couldn't just pull myself out of the flow and completely step away from you all. But I'm excited to be here this evening and excited to be starting season number 2 of our $1 Million Fireside Chats and really ready to rock and roll. I want to thank you all for joining me at this new time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm excited about this time for a number of different reasons. Number one, because I love sunlight. As you can see, it is nice and bright in my office. And at this time of day, unless it's a cloudy, overcast, or rainy day, I'll always be here in the light, in the sun, and I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about this because I'm an early bird. Many of you who know me already know that I just get up at the crack of dawn. I'm started usually around 4 a.m. And so to have a fireside chat and conversations after 5 o'clock p.m. is a stretch for me. And I was doing these at 6:30 previously, and that was a stretch. So it was pulling on me. It was pulling on my capacity. And so now at 4:30 p.m., I'm able to just kind of roll with the punches and continue throughout my workday and to deliver to you some really fresh information, only because I'll be able to speak off the cuff as it relates to things that happen throughout the course of the day. So thank you all for joining me for this new time. I'm really excited about that. I see many of you are in the chat. We are streaming from many different locations. We're streaming from my Facebook group, Scale to Seven Figures. We're also streaming from my business fan page, which is Anavo Transformation. We're streaming from my personal Facebook page, which is Lisa Delaney Anderson. And we're also streaming from YouTube. So I can't see everybody, but please, wherever you are, wherever you tuned in, wherever you're watching, if you could, please just put a little note in the chat. Say hello. Let me know that you're here. Let me know who's here. And let me know what you're thinking about some of the things that I'm sharing with you this afternoon. So I'm excited to see you guys. And just kind of who I can see, I am actually watching the stream from my Facebook groups, Scale to Seven Figures. So I can see a few of you who are out here. I see Kimberly Douglas, who is a faithful watcher. She tunes in every week, and I really do appreciate you. I see Jennifer Jones, and I think I saw you earlier today, Jennifer. So thank you for tuning in again today, this evening. And Jewel Williams, I see you out there. So thank you guys again for being faithful watchers and for tuning in again for season 2. So I want to make sure that you know that you're in the right place. You're in the right place if you are a growth-focused, service provider working in the business to corporate, or business to government markets, and you're interested in building business or taking your business to the next level, you're interested in scaling. Scale to Seven Figures is an interactive group that I designed or created a little over a year ago for small business owners who do business with in the professional services space. And again, they are interested in taking their businesses to the next level. The group that I created is an opportunity to share, learn, and grow together without competition. And something I'm going to be doing a little bit differently in this season, and I'll share with you when that will begin. But one thing I'm going to be doing a little bit differently is after we do these fireside chats, I will go into the Facebook group and hold a town hall meeting or open conversation and Q&A and discussion about the topics that we've discussed during the fireside chats. So register so that you can come into the group and follow on and engage in these conversations. But that is something that I will be doing differently this season. And we are also registered, or we're registering. We've applied to go live in a few other places as well. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get some feedback on that pretty soon. So each week in our fireside chats, I bring tips, tactics, and strategies through these fireside chats through the information that I share personally, or through the information that is shared through the interviews and conversations that I have with other industry experts. And the objective is to make certain that you understand that there are solutions out there, that you're not here trying to grow your business alone, that there are resources that are available to you. And in other instances, to understand that you're not alone, that you are not the only one who's going through a thing, right? You're not the only one that has cause to celebrate, and you're not the only one who has cause to face challenges. We all pretty much face the same things. And understanding and knowing that there are other people here, other small business owners, other individuals, professionals, and experts in the industry that are here to help you along your journey is what Scale to Seven Figures is all about. I also share a lot of resources as it relates to the things that we do here at A Novel Transformation Solutions to help small businesses increase and elevate, scale, and build legacy. So I share information about a lot of our different programs. Most recently, we held our quarterly strategic business retreat. So you'll hear about those. I will be doing another one in January, so stay tuned on that. But it's an opportunity for us to actually execute upon our mission, which is to help a million achieve millions. Before I retire one day in the future, I want to have been able to say that some way through our programs, through our books, through our podcasts, our live streaming, our network, that we've had an opportunity to touch a million small businesses and help them elevate themselves and scale to the next level. So that is my mission. So I want to thank you all for participating. I appreciate you. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for connecting and collaborating with one another and with me. It's through forming a strong community. It's through forming a strong community, communicating with that community, and making real meaningful connections that companies can build million-dollar brands. That is how million-dollar brands are formed. I say a lot. You'll hear it if you're new to me. You're just kind of learning a little bit about who I am and what it is that I do. You'll understand that one of the key components to success that I talk a lot about is your network is your net worth. At the end of the day, your network is your fastest path to cash. And Scale to Seven Figures is an opportunity for us to build a network that gives us the opportunity to build our fastest paths to cash. So, who am I? I'm Lisa Anderson. I am a strategic business advisor and a virtual CFO. My company is A Novel Transformation Solutions, and we offer strategic advisory, financial management, compliance support, and executive coaching to small professional services companies who are in the startup phase all the way through to $30 million in revenue. That's our range of service businesses that we serve and support. And believe it or not, $30 million still fits within the small business realm. And so we really do focus on helping small businesses scale. I have an opportunity to bring my background as a CPA, as a CFO, of having built a thriving business as well, a multi-million dollar business, my experience as a government contracts expert, and my experience as an adjunct instructor to the marketplace to help, again, help companies to build profitable businesses. So this month of October, right? It's October. Yes, it's October. This month of October, our theme is building capacity. Building capacity. So when I do these fireside chats, I always like to start with a theme, and then our guests that come on the weeks following behind me will follow on and deepen the conversation around that theme. So this month is all about building capacity. And capacity is extremely important. So we're going to talk about building capacity strategically, financially, operationally, and guess what else? Mentally, because capacity is extremely important. So I recently released a newsletter. I talked about capacity in my newsletter, and one of the philosophies actually comes out in my book, Beyond the Plateau: 5 Simple Steps to Scale Your Way to $1 Million Business. I talk about capacity. And one of the things I say about capacity frequently is that you, as a business owner, it doesn't matter where you are in your cycle, it doesn't matter how large or how small you are. You will face many challenges with growing your business, period. You can expect that to happen. And they all have one underlying cause. One underlying cause. Every challenge that you face has one underlying cause. And that underlying cause is capacity. Capacity is the question of the day. Capacity is the answer of the day. And so I want to talk a little bit more about that because it is extremely important in every aspect of business. As I mentioned, it's important in your strategy, it's important in your operations, it's important in your financials, and it's important in your mindset. And so I want to make certain that we do a really good job of addressing capacity. So capacity is the root of all evil and the answer for all things that are good in business. So it's the root of all evil, but it's also the answer to all things that are good in business. Capacity is ingrained in all that happens in everyday operations of your organization. I remember the days when it was very difficult for me. I couldn't figure out why certain things weren't moving the way that I wanted them to move, why certain individuals weren't operating the way that I thought that they should, why we weren't making the right connections. And there's a lot of different things that I did to try to find the answers to that or to try to fix it. But what I found in that process is that it wasn't, I was asking the wrong questions. The question was not what or who or why. The answer was how much. The question I should have been asking myself is how much was necessary? How much capacity did I need to build in order to fix this problem? So if it's a people problem, the question is, do they have the capacity? If it is a revenue problem, do we have the capacity to build new revenue streams? If we had a financial problem, the question was, do we have the capacity that's necessary for us to remain profitable and continue to grow and scale? If it was, the issue seemed like, the decisions weren't the right decisions, did I have the right mental capacity to continue to move forward? So the question was capacity. That was the answer to all of those challenges. But what I want you to know is that capacity is a stretch. Capacity is a stretch. It's the moment in business where you are being stretched and you hit certain roadblocks, period. When it comes to capacity, you're either growing too quickly or you're not growing quickly enough. So I'm going to say that again. When it comes to capacity, you're either growing too quickly or you're not growing quickly enough. And so capacity says that you need things in order to help catch up with the growth that you're experiencing, or you need things to help increase the capacity so that you can continue to move forward and continue to grow. So that at the end of the day, the answer is capacity, right? So I want to talk a little bit about what capacity is. What exactly is capacity? How is it defined? And I always like to turn to Webster and then compare Webster's definition to what I think capacity is, right? And so I've already shared with you that capacity is a stretch, right? It's a stretch of a moment in time or a stretch of resources that cause you to hit a roadblock. So that's my definition of capacity. But here's what Webster says about capacity. Capacity is legal competency. Legal competency. Capacity is the potential or sustainability for holding, storing, or accommodating activity. Capacity is the maximum amount or number that can be contained or accommodated. The maximum amount or number that can be contained or accommodated. Capacity is an individual's mental or physical ability. Capacity is the faculty or potential for treating, experiencing, or appreciating duty, position, role, or power to produce, perform, or deploy maximum output. So a few minutes ago, I talked about the fact that capacity is ingrained in every component of your business. It's ingrained in your strategy. It's ingrained in your operations. It's ingrained in your financials, and it's ingrained in your mindset. And when we look at the definition, the way in which Webster has defined capacity, guess what? Every single one of those components is existent in that definition. And that's why capacity is extremely important. So at the end of the day, capacity is everything to business. Capacity is everything to business. So it's so important that you have to keep your eyes on the ball. So I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me one quick second so I can do that. And I want to share with you, this is our wheel of business growth. And what we also call here at a Novel Transformation Solutions, the Pulse Profit Method. This is the method that we use to help small businesses continue along the journey of scaling, to continue along the pathway of building their way to and through millions. Okay, so this is our wheel of business growth. And when you take a look at the wheel of business growth, what I say is that there are four, as CEO of an organization, there are some things that you want to make certain that you are focused in on as it relates to growing your business, as it relates to your position and role as CEO, right? So when we're CEO, we tend to put out a lot of fires. We handle a lot of stuff. We focus on a lot of things. We get distracted by a lot of things. But really, at the end of the day, it is all about bringing ourselves back into focus. So this is a wheel, but this is also a bullseye. Okay. And a bullseye means that there's a point in which we need to focus in order to hit our targets. And so when we take a look at this, what I like to share with organizations is meaningful growth. Meaningful growth happens from the inside out. And so that's why business growth is in the middle of this wheel. But what's also in the middle of this wheel is you and your mindset. You and your mindset. So that's the kind of unspoken area that always needs to be addressed. It needs to be realigned, and it needs to have its own level of focus. Okay. When we move outside of that area, then there are four key areas as CEO that we should focus our energies and our efforts on. And then everything else that happens should be delegated to someone else. So those four key areas are our mission, our marketing, our money, and our management. And I like to say in that order. A lot of times when we're growing from the outside in, right? So in other words, we let outside elements control how our business is evolving. When that happens, oftentimes we jump into the wrong components of business and we get stuck there. And usually it is we jump into marketing and we stay there too long, or we jump into money, and we never really move our way effectively around to the other areas. But really, when you think about it, in order to balance out the wheel, in order to make certain that we are moving in the right direction at a steady pace, that we're constantly and continuously growing, that we have to make certain that number one, we got to start with mission. If we're going to be a growth focused organization where we're building business by design that is leading its way to our legacy, we have to start with mission. Our mission matters, right? We don't start with the market. We don't start with marketing. We don't start with trying to figure out what our customers want. We start with mission. Why do we exist? What is our purpose? What are we looking to achieve at the end of the day? Where are we leading our company? That is our guiding force. So you want to start with mission. That then gives you the basis to be able to pursue things in the market. That then gives you the opportunity to increase your cash flow. That also then gives you the opportunity to increase your team, the ability to manage people and systems. And so you can kind of see, I'm a numbers person. I'm all about math. And at the end of the day, I believe that there's an order and priority to everything. And when it comes to business, that is the order and priority. Mindset first, then mission, marketing, money, and management. And guess what? We continue to go through that process. You don't go step into an area and stay there. You have to continue to move through the process. You have to continue to revisit. So what happens when you do that is you give yourself the opportunity to increase your clarity, your confidence in business, you increase your competencies individually as well as a team and as an organization. That gives you the chance to increase your cash flow, which then at the end of the day, it also gives you the opportunity to what? Increase your capacity. Increase your capacity. So when we are operating in business and we're faced with a challenge, whether it is we've grown too fast or we're not growing fast enough, if we're faced with a challenge like what we're experiencing right now in this pandemic, then the answer to the question is how much capacity do we need in order to continue to move forward? And then let's start planning that capacity and keep moving the process all the way around so that we meet capacity at the right place where we have increased cash flow. And then we revisit the process all over again. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle. And that's why I say capacity is so extremely important in business. Okay. So that is our business concept. That is our pulse profit method. And as you can see, capacity is ingrained in every component of business. So mission, marketing, money, management, and mindset are all the things that are cause for and require your focus, but they also require that you ask yourself on a daily basis, do I have the capacity? Do I have the capacity to execute upon the mission? Do I have the capacity to meet the market where they need me? Do I have the capacity to financially run this organization profitably? Do I have the capacity, the team in place to help me continue to move forward? And then at the end of the day, do I have the capacity, the mindset, and the heart to keep this train, this engine moving in an upward position and also moving towards our legacy? That's the answer to the question. Every time a business owner comes to me, seriously, I may not use or utter the word capacity, but in my mind, that's what I am assessing. I'm assessing their capacity to continue to move forward, their capacity to do the things that they want to do. I am assessing their capacity. And then we are working together to try to figure out how we're going to fill the gaps of where we're missing that capacity. Okay. So if you want to win, right? Because all want to be winners. We have to build capacity. We have to want to build a strong legacy. And then we have to have the mindset and the heart to want to move forward. That's what it requires in order to win. Now, so how do you as a small business owner, make certain that you have the right capacity at all times, right? How do you ensure that you have the right capacity at all times? Well, the first thing is you have to go through the cycle. You have to follow the process. You have to know your mission. You have to understand what the market needs from you. You have to address the money issues. And then you have to be prepared to build a team. And the team is so extremely important. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are hiring people to work in your organization full time, but you need to have a team. And every single business, I don't care how small you are, from startup all the way up to 30 million, you need what I call the A team. The A team. And again, this is another concept that I talk about in my book. Beyond the Plateau, 5 Simple Steps to Scale Your Way to a $1 million business. But you need an A team. And so who's included on the A team? On your A team, you have your banker, you have your tax accountant, you have your lawyer, you have your insurance broker, you have a human resources consultant, you have a CFO, and you have a strategic business advisor. And when you look at that entire list, banker, tax accountant, lawyer, insurance broker, human resources consultant, CFO, and strategic advisor, when you look at each one of those components, guess what? They have you covered in every single one of your focus areas, to include your mindset. Every one of those areas is covered. And so you can't go it alone in business. If you're looking to really grow and scale and increase your capacity, then you want to make certain that you have surrounded your business by the right people from day one. Okay. And so take a look at what you have in place. Who do you talk to on a regular basis? Who do you engage with? And these are the people on your A team, are individuals that you should be having conversations with throughout the course of the year. It doesn't happen with the tax accountant just at the end of the year. It doesn't happen with the lawyer when you get in trouble. It doesn't happen with your insurance broker when you find out you have some risk that needs to be covered. You should be having conversations with these individuals throughout the course of the year. Okay. That helps to make certain that your organization remains balanced, that you stay focused, and that you are continuing to move the business forward. So again, take a look at who you have surrounding you. Do you have the right individuals serving and supporting your business? Are you having conversations with them on a regular basis? Do they understand your mission? Do they understand your mission? Today, earlier this morning, I was invited to speak as a panelist on a local Chamber of Commerce panel discussion regarding financial capacity and helping small businesses increase their working capital during a pandemic. And we talked a lot about the gaps that businesses faced during this pandemic. What were the causes behind that? And what types of things companies can do to tighten that up and continue to move forward and be successful in that. And a common theme came out of that. And that common theme was, number one, transparency. That means communication on a regular basis with the people that matter. And then number two, having partnership with people that matter. You can't wait until you're in trouble. The idea is to engage people throughout the process. And you may be asking yourself, Lisa, I can't afford all of this. I can't afford to talk to, a human resources consultant. I haven't even started to hire people, or I can't have a CFO on my team right now. or I can't afford an attorney. You know what? My answer is to that statement is you can't afford not to have it. If you haven't learned anything during this pandemic, understand that a lot of organizations, the ones who have been successful in pivoting, who have been successful in sustaining through this pandemic, are all organizations who kept those people near and dear and close to heart. I tell my clients all the time, you got to pay to play. You just do. And business is not designed for you to go it alone. It is truly a team sport. You have to have individuals on your team. Okay. So I want you guys to take some time to think about who's on your team and who's missing, and how often do you speak with them. And as you start to plan your strategy for 2021, put these people on the strategy, and not only on the strategy, put them on the calendar. Put them on the calendar. Make it a regular process of tagging up with these individuals and talking to them about your mission and where you are and the challenges that you're facing and the wins that you've had. Talk to them about those things, because guess what? They can tell you what your next move, they can help you determine what your next move should be and then how to get there effectively. And then I started this conversation this evening talking about your network is your net worth, right? And it is absolutely true. So these individuals are not just working for you, they're working with you. They're working to also listen to where you're going as a business and connect you with other individuals. Every opportunity I get where it presents itself, I'm connecting my clients with other individuals, other professionals in the marketplace. I am also connecting them with people in my network, and I'm also connecting them with other clients. So the A team should be helping you in that capacity as well. So I always like to say, don't go it alone. Put your A team in place and build your capacity. So I hope this is helpful. Let's see. Again, I can't really see comments in the chat, but I would love for you to please, please, please put your comments in the chat from wherever you are watching, and I will respond back to them. As I mentioned earlier, I will be doing follow-up conversations following these fireside chats. I'm not doing it this week because tonight I am have my popcorn ready, and I'm planning to sit fireside in front of my television so I can watch the debate, the vice presidential debate this evening. So we will schedule for a follow-up conversation at a different date and time, but that's where I will be this evening. But in any event, for the remainder of this month, the month of October, we will be talking about capacity. And we specifically will be talking about getting your legal house in order. I have several experts that are coming on board, to include an IP attorney who will join me next week. Latanya Moore will be joining me. We will be talking about protecting your intellectual property, the things that's in your brain, the key components that you're developing in your business. We're going to be talking about that. That will be followed by a conversation that I will be having with an IRS attorney, because we want to make certain that your tax shop is in order. And then I will close out the month with a conversation about, now I can't remember what the term is called, arbitration. So being able to put things in place to settle disputes with employees, customers, and partners without having to take them to court. We're going to talk about those things and why it's important, and what things you may need to consider as a business owner to make certain that you have your legal shop in order and you have the capacity to continue forward without having any shame to your game. Okay. But before I leave you this evening, I want to encourage you all to exercise your right to vote. Please do that. Exercise your right to vote. When you exercise your right to vote, you are increasing your capacity you are increasing your capacity to build your legacy by increasing our national capacity. Okay, so please vote and pick up 5 or 6 friends and take them with you to the polls, or encourage them to vote as well, because it's important. It's extremely important. So until next time, I am Lisa Anderson, strategic business advisor, your $1 million mentor, and I look forward to seeing you all here again next Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Thank you again, and thank you for watching.